Part 2 of Chapter 11. So tell me how you did it. How did you manage to collaborate? Fiona and I remain silent. I hadn't counted on this. I assumed she would be so mad at the why of my cheating that she would never think about how. Girls, I can keep you here all day. You have to understand that you are in a state exam year. If there is a way of cheating that you two have figured out, you are likely to tell the other girls. And if St. Bernadette's gets caught up in a leaving certificate cheating scandal, we'll lose our accreditation. This is very, very, very serious. If you tell me now, the punishment will be less severe. I bite down on my cheek so hard I can taste blood. How could I be so stupid and not think of this? Are we really going to have to tell Miss Harris about our gifts? Suddenly, Fiona starts speaking. Miss Harris, I'm so sorry for what we did, she says calmly. Like Maeve said, we wanted to be in the same class together. I can tell you how we did it. Fiona, no! Miss Harris leans forward, slightly in anticipation. When I was writing my answers, I leaned really heavily, Fiona says slowly. And I had my notepad open under the test papers, so my writing would imprint on it when I was done with part of the exam. I would go to the bathroom and stash the paper behind the cistern, and then Maeve would go get it and shade the impression with colouring pencil. The answers show up then. Fiona isn't getting this from nowhere. I've seen people use this technique before, and it might work if the answer is one word long, but would take forever for an essay question. Miss Harris looks suspicious too. That wouldn't give Maeve a lot of time to trace your answers. We practice, she shrugs. I'm sorry. The three of us are silent, and Miss Harris tries to decide whether or not she believes us. Finally, she speaks. Thank you for your honesty, Fiona. I must say, I'm extremely disappointed that you would get drawn into a scheme like this. I've never had a moment of trouble from you since the day you started here, and we still think that your future at St. Bernadette's will be very bright. I can see that this was a moment of weakness, of wanting to help a friend. Detention on Friday. Thank you, miss. Fiona says, her eyes shining with tears. Now Maeve sighs. This isn't the first time you have been here. I don't say anything. I just hang my head like Tutu when he's pooped on the carpet. Honestly, that's her dog. Honestly, Maeve, I don't know what to do with you. My instinct is that this is a final straw, because clearly St. Bernadette's is not the right place for you, and your influence is starting to have a negative effect on the other girls. Oh my God. Is she going to expel me? Am I going to be expelled? What would I do? What would my family say? Miss, please. She shifts her palm up, commanding silence. However, she says, I want to take into consideration that the last term was extremely traumatic for you and that you need help readjusting. I can understand why the idea of being separated from Fiona was frightening and you acted out of fear, which is why you will have detention on Friday evening from now on until half term. I nodded mutely, flooded with relief that I am not getting expelled. I will, of course, be writing to both your parents. Now that's all, girls. And suddenly we are in the hallway, staring at each other. Fiona, I'm sorry. For a moment I'm certain she's going to punch me. Instead, she just stares, as if seeing who I truly am for the first time. She looks like she's about to say something, but then the lunch bell sounds and breaks her concentration. Instead, she walks out of the door and starts walking quickly away from school. Fi, I call her after her, quickening my pace. Fi, wait! I'm sorry, I really am sorry. She almost runs to get away from me, but is stopped short by the pedestrian crossing. She jams her fingers on the button, the sign glowing wet at her, as if it's secretly on my side. Leave me alone, Maeve, she says flatly. Just talk to me, okay? Look, I know what I did was wrong, but... Do you, though? She flares out. Do you really? Yes, I protested. It was dishonest, terrible, and total betrayal of our friendship. And, sure, Maeve, it was all those things, but did it not occur to you that Miss Harris could have taken my scholarship away over that? What? Do you think all those hints were all that bit about severe punishments? My bright future, St. Bernadette's keeping a close eye on scholarship girls. She was going to take my scholarship away if I didn't come up with something. The dumb story about leaning too hard on my papers. Do you have any idea the amount of trouble you could have gotten me in? Maeve, you could have ruined my life. Come on, I pleaded desperately. Come on, don't be so dramatic. That's not what would have happened. I cost them money, Maeve. Do you get that? Duh, I cost them money and you make them money. That's what scholarships are at the end of the day. An expense. Nothing less, nothing more. In other words, you're a number. How have I not thought of this? How had I managed again to put both Fiona and be completely unaware of the ways in which her life is different from mine? You know how hard I've worked. You know how badly I wanted to go to Trinity to get out of Kilbeg. I can't believe you would put that at risk just to get into some stupid class. The disgust in her voice is rising like a wave. I stand there, ready to take the full crash of it, knowing that once she said what she has to say will go back to normal, and that you have this epic cosmic gift and that you would just waste it on a dumb test. That is just so you, Maeve. You have all these chances and opportunities and privileges and you just waste them. Do you have any idea how frustrating that is? The pedestrian crossing beeps and she crosses the road, me trailing behind her. She finally stops walking at the bus stop. Okay, I huffed. Okay, I admit it. I screwed up. But it's Not like I do this all the time. It's a one-time thing. One-time thing? That is part of many-time trend. I can feel my face getting hot. Why does Fiona have to expand this into some kind of psychological case study? How many times do I have to say, I'm sorry? Just swallow it, Maeve. Just accept what she has to say and move on and be friends again. But instead, okay, Fiona, as if I'm the only one who is using their gifts for less than ideal things. There's a bunch of lads from the boys' school smoking cigarettes and watching us. They must have a half a day. They started meowing desperately to indicate that we are in a cat fight. I hate them. She swings around to face me. What is that supposed to mean? Getting a lot of nosebleeds lately. Shut up, she snipes. Don't talk to me about that. I'm immediately regretting my horrible tone and trying to backpedal. Look, I'm just worried about you, okay? She barks a short, dry laugh. Are you worried about me now? Are you? Why are you doing it, Fi? Why are you keeping hurting yourself? We can talk about it properly. I mean, I won't judge you. I'm sure you have a good reason. Oh, you won't judge me? Wow, big of you. The meow is getting louder and louder now. Some of the boys are shouting at us to kiss. I'm going home, she says, through gritted teeth. And I'm going to explain this shit show to my mother before she hears it through Harris. Maybe if I do some damage control, she won't punish me too much. The for something I didn't do and had no part in bit remains. Thank you, unsaid. Fiona walks away from me and the boys finally quiet. Her bus is pulling up. I'll phone you tonight. I call after her as she starts to get on. She turns around. Don't, she says, as the bus doors shutters. Wow, that was chapter 11. So there's a massive row. Let's see what is going to happen. Take care.